Next team up I had who are in the mix is Spurs. They had 30 points after 20 games last season. They're currently on 33 points after 18 games. So they're 2 games less than they were at this point last season, but they're doing better. They've got Mourinho in charge, which you never know with that guy, right? And he's got someone like Kane, and he's got someone like Son, and he's got them pretty solid. They're one to keep an eye on for just grinding out results and probably not doing it in the best way. And a lot of people maybe just not paying attention to them. They could be up there after these 6. Greggy, what have you thought of Spurs like overall? And obviously where they're sitting at halfway, they're in the mix.
Yeah, and I know we say this about every time we talk about Spurs, and you could say it about numerous teams. Obviously, Liverpool with Van Dijk, it's been a struggle. I do just think if they do lose Kane, Touchwood do lose Kane or Son for any reason, straight away the chances of, if you're saying that they are title contenders, if they lose one of those 2, in particular Kane, those title chances are gone. And if they lose them both, they won't even get top 4.
Yeah, their next 6, Scotty, are Liverpool at home tomorrow night, Brighton away, Chelsea at home, West Brom at home, City away, West Ham away. That's a pretty testing 6.
Yeah, that's tough.
I think if football's played over 45 minutes, Spurs have a great chance of winning the league. But as we know in this podcast, it's a game of 2 halves. And for that reason, they'll finish 5th, probably. Honestly, I have no idea with Spurs. Like, some weeks look unbelievable, then sometimes they just look so defensive, just don't know what they're doing, and then for 90 minutes they can't play like a full, solid, attacking, decent game.
Liam,
what? I don't know.
Sorry, go on, Scotty.
No. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So.
He's talking piss. Fucking next.
Liam. You had Mourinho at Chelsea, so you've seen him, and then probably I'm sure you've kept an eye on him as he's done all his other jobs. Like, what do you see there at Spurs? Do you think they're a concern? Are they a worry? Should people be worried for them, or do you see no?
I mean, I guess it's a tough one because, as you say, like with Mourinho, sometimes you just don't know. I mean, they do have good attacking players, but I think the difference with Spurs compared to like your Cities and probably United's is they don't really have the squad depth. I would say if it doesn't even take Harry Kane and Son to get injured, I think it just takes one of them to get injured, and then I think they're in trouble. Because I mean, they've got Lucas Moura, who I don't think he's great, but I mean, Mourinho is, again, he's another one that's really good at developing players. I mean, and Ndombele looks like a different player. Yeah. Højbjerg that they brought in, who was decent as Southampton, he looks really good too. So I think that's the biggest thing though, is like, will they pick up enough wins instead of draws, because Mourinho does play quite defensive, obviously. So I think they'll be up there, but yeah, I still can't see them competing with City for sure. I definitely can't see that. But I think they'll be in that other pack with the likes, obviously, like Leicester and United and stuff. I think they will probably sneak top 4.
What?
Josh, you should have fucking came to you that question. You as well with me for saying they'd finish 2nd.
Yeah, should have. Go on then, mate. You did say they'd finish 2nd last week, and you didn't give an explanation. You're lucky you're not banned this week.
You went in a really bad mood last week when we asked you about Spurs.
Fucking 18 out of 18 for this Spurs, man. 2nd place. Now, I'm joking. I think out of that, I reckon Mourinho will get around like 13, 14 points out of that.
So you think he gets up there the same as what United get from their 6?
Why he's always so surprised when I fucking...
No, I like it. I think that's a great statement. I'm asking why.
Oh, not this again. Because they'll get fucking... Because they'll
get
more points.
That's fine.
They'll win the same amount of games as United.
I'm saying it, Matthew, because I genuinely think there's a little bit about me that says that I could see Spurs getting roughly that from those fixtures as well, just because it's Jose Mourinho. So, that's what I say.
I do. I think they'll. I think if the playing teams aren't in form as well, I think Mourinho will like that. I just think everything's just playing into Spurs' favour right now, and they've got a goal scorer in Harry Kane, and I just think they'll get about 13, 14 out of that.
Did you say they play Man City, Liverpool, and then another one of the big six?
Yeah, Greg, out of the big six, they've got Liverpool at home tomorrow. They play Chelsea at home and Man City away.
Oof. I can't see them beating those teams, though. They'll probably draw against Liverpool tomorrow and potentially draw against Chelsea, depending on what their new manager does. But I can't see them going and beating those teams, which I think makes that.
Mate, are you joking me? I'm
Mourinho love that Chelsea game.
I'm shouting that we're going to get beat by Tottenham just because our centre-back problem, and you've got fucking Harry Kane in it. Like, you've got that Rhys Williams at like 18, 19. Like, I think that's the difference, man. I think it's the difference between like a 1-0 and us dropping 3 points. Like, I really do.
I've given them 8 points.
Oof.
Greg's going for 8 points. Interesting. I'm thinking around.
Okay. Did you do the same as me, you liar?
Yeah, I'm up to go for about 12, 13 points. I was thinking 12.
Yeah, I was going to say about 13. I can agree with that, about 12, 13.
Okay, stick it down, coach. 12.
12 points for Spurs.
Oh.
It's a big one. Last team that we'll come on to, Matthew, you just mentioned them in there, is Liverpool. Stats are not great reading for this bit, boys, unfortunately. They had 55 points after 19 games last season. They are currently on 34 points after 19 games. So there's a significant drop in points there, by 21 to be exact, if my maths is good. So that's huge. That's huge. Matthew, carry on what you think about, obviously, the first game is against Spurs. What do you think about the centre-back issue in Jurgen Klopp in general?
It's just a bit of a shambles, to be fair. Like I said with the whole Man City thing, like, you need to have a good settled down centre-back pair. Nothing worse. Even when you're playing football yourself, nothing worse than not having your two centre-halves that play at the time.
Like when we played with Liam at Twin Creeks, he's supposed to play at the back and was always up top.
Mate, Liam, right, we'd play at Twin Creeks on Wednesday night, right? We'd play
we'd
play it 7 aside, mate. And the cunt would be playing centre-back and we'd go on the counter-attack and he'd be going forward and he'd fucking look like Bambi on ice, mate. And like,
fucking roadrunner.
Centre-half, mate. He's fucking back post going, "Geez it!
Sergio,
like Cancelo from Man City, man. I'm just everywhere.
Some American guy saying, like, what's this guy saying? Liam's like, fucking geez it! Like, ref, he done a swear word. But
I get yellow carded for saying fuck off. So like, come on, man.
No slide tackles. No slides.
No slide tackles. My first tackle was a slide. I get booked. I was like, no one told me about this.
Oh,
man. What do you expect? I don't know any other tackle. Fucking hell.
Oh, mate, I forgot about that. That's fucking hilarious, man.
Brilliant.
Well, what was the question again?
You were talking about Rhys Williams, basically Liverpool at the back.
Oh, yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just Hendo back there, I don't know. Then I think we miss him in midfield, and he's not a centre back. And I know he's gone and played well against United in that, but he didn't have to do much. You know what I mean? Like, we really did dominate them in that. He didn't have to do much. Like, and I just think, I don't know though. What's his options though? You know what I was really surprised at? Nat Phillips played one game, was amazing, was man of the match. He's never played again.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that I can maybe slightly criticise and kind of question. Is I thought it was quite strange. Like, if he's gone and played well and got man of the match, you surely got to give him another game and then try to build momentum from there and let Fabinho and him build a partnership. But I don't know. Are you asking how many points are going to get in the fixtures?
Well, we'll get to that. I just think that what do you think about the chat, Liam? It'd be interesting to know your thoughts as well about the chat of everyone saying they need to buy. You have, let's be honest, you have the best centre back in the world coming back, right? Granted, yes, I know he's going to miss the season. You then have his partner next to him who has been has been there and has been influential alongside Van Dijk and Gomez, who has got Liverpool to the point that they're at. And I actually think is decent and is still young and can improve. And I get that right now it probably is going to be the thing that's going to derail the title challenge, and I understand it. But how can you just go out and buy someone when you know you have those two guys coming back, one of who's the best in the world? I just think that's quite an easy cop-out. I think that I actually look at Klopp and think, unless you clearly had someone that you wanted to bring in, maybe this summer, that is you've been wanting to choose that position, then okay, maybe push it forward to now and pay the price for that. But I don't know if he does. I don't know if it's been in his plans to buy another centre back, to be honest with you.
But then if you don't, you might lose the title.
But then you're pretty much saying to Joe Gomez, right, you're out. Really, because you're not taking.
Well, if you can't stay fit, then it's not personal. If you can't stay fit, then you can't play him.
I know, but I
know if that was Chelsea and Abramovich, they've already bought a centre back. He's already been there. I get the Liverpool philosophy, not making rash decisions, but if you want to win the title, you've got to buy a centre back, surely, or one that can stay fit.
I don't think it's so much the point that we need to buy a centre back because we don't have centre backs that are fit. It's more like the long term of that, and the more like after the start of next season, what then happens there. I think that's what Josh is. That's what you're trying to say, right? It's not like it's pretty easy to say go buy a centre back because you don't have any, but it's like we can't just bring in a centre back, have him play for half a season, and then he goes back to another club. Like it doesn't work like that. So I think I get what you're saying, Josh. It's more like the long-term longevity of bringing someone in. And if they are going to be a really good player, then what happens to Gomez, Van Dijk, or whatever the situation is? To be honest with you, it's fucking how difficult a job is it? How tough is that?
Yeah, I mean, it would make the most sense to get someone in on loan, but then at the same time, if you get a centre back on loan, you're not going to get like a world class centre back.
You're not going to be any better than
they're not happy through the season.
Then if you keep playing Hendo, you lose him in midfield though, and then you're a man.
We can't play the season with Hendo and Fabinho.
No, you can't because you're missing two of your best midfielders in midfield.
I would just think it was probably would have worked. I mean, I don't know. Chelsea probably wouldn't have let it happen, but Tomori's just went on loan to AC Milan. That'd be like a perfect loan for some Liverpool. I mean, again, are Chelsea going to loan him out to a Premier League rival? Probably not, right? But just like a signing like that would make total sense.
I agree. I don't.
Also, if Matthew, right? If you and Liam, you obviously will know this again from knowing the Bundesliga well and then being at Dortmund. What everyone is saying for Jurgen Klopp to do, Jurgen Klopp has never done, ever.
No, he did. He did. He went and got
Steven Cocker, right?
Remember when we got Steven Cocker, mate?
Yeah, I remember that. But he also played him up top. But my point is,
Dundee legend.
Yeah, man, Dundee legend. But like everyone, the thing that actually annoys me the most is everyone that's saying that clearly doesn't understand how Klopp works then, because that's not what he does. And I agree that sometimes you have to adapt in a situation and things are different. But I'm trying to look at the situation as a whole and be like, I kind of get if he's not going to go buy someone.
I get it, but surely, as you say, we can't play the rest of the season with Hendo at centre half. And I know it's not his fault; he's actually been thrown into the deep end. But we can't play the next 19 Premier League games of Reece Williams.
Do you want to know? I think a point we're really missing is I think you have to look at it. See, if we were conceding loads of goals, I think he'd definitely do it. We're not though. Like we're not leaking goals left, right, and centre. So he's still looking at it, saying we are. It's good enough. We're not like conceding goals like crazy.
The issue is the other
side of the pitch. But the reason you're struggling up the other end of the pitch because you've got Fabinho and Hendo. Usually that engine in midfield have to go back, and you're placing them with someone like a Curtis Jones or something. There's nowhere near the quality. You can't get the ball to that front three to score.
Fabinho's obviously like a set centre back there. Like he's obviously not going to come out there unless we go and sign two or whatever. I don't know. But with the Hendo situation, like I just think you need to bring Hendo back in midfield, but and give one of the Nat Phillips or Williams or whoever, like just
it's not Williams, is it?
You need to can't I know, mate. But then I'm sitting there saying this. Oh my god, he's in on goal. Oh, he just missed a 1v1.
Who?
McGoldrick.
Fucking McGoldrick.
Oh wait. Oh mate, they do that fucking stupid rule when the flag goes up like an hour later.
Worse. Yeah, I hear
that. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough, man. It's so tough, and it's a bit of a ball ache, to be fair.
Liverpool's net 6 is Spurs away tomorrow night, West Ham away, Brighton at home, City at home, Leicester away, Everton at home. And not only that, in between playing Leicester and Everton, we are away to Leipzig in the Champions League. That's a fucker of a run.
Oof.
That's horrible.
That's a fucker. Anyone like to go first on how many points we're going to
2. Including the Leipzig game.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fucker.
Bias as fuck. I've wrote them down and I've given us no losses and 12 points, but realistically, I think it's probably more like 8.
Yeah, I think 8.
That's a horrible run.
I think 8. By the way, Arsenal are currently 4 points off of Liverpool, everyone.
Yeah, they can get fucked.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Where the fuck are Leeds then?
Leeds are just about 3 points or so behind Arsenal. I'll tell you right now. Arsenal are 9th on 30. Liverpool are on 34. And Leeds are 12th on 26.
Yeah. Cannon, you'll be posting some Australian dollars to Jason Grant.
Oh, mate. Jason's looking like he's going to win that cash. They're still tight, though. They're still close. I think Leeds and Arsenal.
Josh, I'll go 10 points Liverpool.
10 for Liverpool.
Are we also going to predict if they're going to get past Leipzig? Because I don't think they will.
I don't know. Not right now, no.
Are they flying right now?
Yeah, they're sitting second and playing really well.
I love that we've got a German expert on the
They're still,
I know.
broadens the horizon for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're still. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
I mean, I think 7-8 points behind Bayern, so Bayern are obviously hitting a bit of form, but Leipzig do look like the next best team because Dortmund have been shocking this season, but Leipzig do look good. They play really good football.
I think for like the first time in a while, I'll see Liverpool will go away to them, and I think we'll let a team have most of the ball, and I think we'll just try hitting on the break when we play them away. And we normally dominate teams on the ball on that, and I reckon just with how things are going, I reckon we'll let them have the ball. They're good on the ball, they like to knock it about, don't they?
Yeah.
I think we'll sit in a little, hit them on the break, like old school us in the Champions League a few years ago.
Yeah, it makes sense because they're flying right now. They're playing with a lot of confidence and they do knock about well.
Mate, like who plays centre back in that game for us? Like, yeah, how long is Gomez out for?
The end of the he's out for longer than Big Verge is.
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry, Beans, go ahead.
He's still down as an unknown return date where Big Virgil is sometime in May.
Yeah. This might be a tiny bit off topic of that, but just real quick. I'm not just saying this because I'm a Liverpool fan, but just like see when I watch Joe Gomez and how young he is, I think he's really, really fucking good.
He's decent.
Do you think? Don't get me wrong. I think he's good, but I genuinely do believe that you could stick me at centre half next to Virgil, and I wouldn't do well, but I'd do a job.
No, but I think it's gone to the point where it makes it harder for him because teams now just sit on him instead of Virgil, and I think he's done excellent at just dealing with that.
Yeah, fair, because I'd get found out.
Do you know who I think is really underrated?
Go on then.
Because of what he does, I don't think unless you really, really, really watch the game, you see it, is Gini Wijnaldum. The way he uses his body in games is incredible, and he starts all the time.
I'll be sad if he leaves.
I know.
Yeah. I remember when he signed from Newcastle, I was just like, average signing, but fucking hell, he's been anything but that. He's been brilliant, man. So reliable.
Same, man.
Never injured, fucking Coxwood. Why did I say that?
Yeah, every game, eh?
He's a class player, man. Class act. So are we agreeing as a group 8 points for Liverpool sounds about fair for what everyone thinks?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think 8.
Christ's sake, man. So what we've said then, this is what that puts us on. After the next 6 games, we've got City on 57, United on 53, Leicester on 48, Spurs on 45, and Liverpool on 42. So that's genuinely in order of what the top 5 is going to be that we put down. There you go.
What about West Ham's upcoming fixtures, Josh?
West Ham aren't getting a mention in this one.
Okay.
They'll maybe get in next week. You know what I mean?
Chelsea
Everton are fine, aren't they?
Yeah, Everton are.
And they in hand as well.
And the winner right now, West Ham fans, by the way, if anyone's a West Ham fan and listens to this, when I plan this out, West Ham are not sent above Liverpool, and Everton fans, you are not sent above Liverpool. So that's why you're not in this discussion.
I wouldn't justify yourself, Cameron. I only know one Everton fan, and it's my dad, and I don't know a West Ham fan, so we don't need to worry.
He doesn't
Does
listen
your
to the
old
podcast.
does your old dad listen to it? That?
My old dad can't even turn on the computer. Never mind listen to podcasts.
You're right, Dave. Yeah, you're right.